Greetings, Earthlings! My name is Zero Jake and welcome back to Space Engineers. So last episode we created this lovely mining drill thing. I think I called it a bore miner? Did I actually rename this thing? The answer to that question is no. It's still small grid some number or other. Now you may notice that we're in a different orientation to where we were last time, and that's because the game decided to go, oh my god, this vehicle is underground instead. So I had to copy and paste it back in. So the orientation is different. It was a bit weird, but suffice it to say, it's fine, I guess. We still have an equal amount of things in the universe. Anyway, what I've been doing is I've been getting rid of all of the mess inside here so that we can build stuff. I've also placed all the steel around this first massive room that will be the hangar for any large constructs that we have in here. I've also added this ramp, this 2x1 high ramp that also goes into the ground. I did have to dig a bit, but yeah. Didn't weld all of it up because that would take forever with the current circumstances. In order to weld this entire thing up, I'm probably going to build a welding ship, because that's the sensible option. Other than that, we're good. Today, what we're going to be working on is getting some base facilities up and running. So we need, the original thing, sing it with me, refinery, assembler, oxygen, med room. That's not really singing, Jake. No, I don't care. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place them in this corner. It's temporary, since this room isn't supposed to have them. We're going to excavate a room in which we can have some of these facilities, because this is going to be an underground base, and that's what I like doing. I also need to build a proper underground excavation ship, because I'm not doing it all by hand. I don't know, well, the current drill doesn't really do it that much. So I need a thing on wheels that I can just roll around to drill new holes into things. Alternatively, do it by hand. I have the manpower, so yeah. Anyway, we've got a supply of steel. It's not great, but we're going to start welding up some of the floor so that just in case we take some damage, the floor doesn't disappear completely and just clang take over and destroy everything that we have. Because that, ladies and gentlemen, is not what we were looking for. Not whatsoever. Yeah, so let's just weld these up. So first thing I'm going to move over is quite obviously the refinery. And I'm not going to move over, by the way. I'm going to build one. He says, waiting for the build menu to load. Again. Any day now. Thank you. We've got an advanced refinery as well. So the mod that has the advanced refinery adds three things. The advanced refinery, we've seen that before in different series. The advanced assembler, seen that as well. And then the factory, which is this one, which also requires alloy plate, and that requires platinum, and we don't have platinum. But it is very fast at building basic components. So things like construction components, steel plate, things like that. Other things like, I don't know, what? Medical component? Yeah. Gunpowder, stuff like that. That's going to require a proper assembler. I need to get the proper list for it. If I was only good at editing, I'd throw it up on screen now, but you know how good I am at that. Yeah, so we're going to need a bunch of things. We're going to need some interior plate, so let's throw that in there. We're also going to need some steel, no, interior, no, construction, yes. The correct answer. And then we're just going to fly over. I was supposed to throw the refinery onto my toolbar, wasn't I? Yes. Right, let's do that. Refinery. I don't need these reactor bits. We're also going to need to add in a reactor. That will be done as well. Just give it time and possibly money. So we can place the refinery here, I guess. No, I don't like that. I like it like this, right? Like this. So really, I want this. Because we're going to have the machines arrayed along this wall rather than this wall, since we're going to be using this wall over here to expand into the facility rather than anything else. Come on, fellas, let's weld this thing up. I need to build myself a better welder. But then again, I want to build the best welder, and that requires platinum. Like everything worthwhile. Right, there's our refinery. Pretty nice. Let's weld up. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but oh well. So once we've got that, we then need a few more things. So we need an assembler, right? Assembler. We've got artificial mass. I don't want that. Yeah, assembler. We'll probably go build a few of those just to increase the rate at which we can build things. Simply because that's the easiest way of doing our job. Other than that, we also need a reactor, which will have a small reactor again. We'll also need a med room. We'll need an oxygen generator and tank. No, we just need an oxygen generator for now. We'll sort out all oxygen. We'll pressurize the base because we can. Yeah, I think that's it, right? Yes, it is. Good. I remembered. Right, so we want more steel because I stupidly threw it all into the refinery instead of waiting to place down all the blocks I want to place down before doing this, because I'm very bad at this. Right, I want some of you. Yeah, we'll bring along 600 of you. We'll use it up entirely. Assembler, small reactor, med room. I think I built the medical components. Yeah, I did. Medical components are actually pretty cheap. I thought they were going to require a bunch of other resources, but no. So we want to add the assembler, and then we want to add. So if we add the assembler like that, which is the way that we've done it, then what we can do is we can have the reactor on top, like that. I think. No, we don't want it like that. We want it like this, so that everything is facing the correct way. And then we can have a cargo container, and cargo, small cargo container, which can go here, right? And then we can have an oxygen generator like this. Yeah, so we have module here, modules back here. I'm trying to do it as space efficient as possible for now. I'll change how that works later. And then finally, we can have our med room here. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, right. Let's weld up the floorboards, because that would be a good idea, I guess. Right, let's get rid of you. And let's start welding these things up. Thrilling gameplay. Yeah. Not so thrilling, huh? Okay. Once we've done that, then we just need to move over. We need to weld all of these things up, which will be trivial, as usual. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do this. No. Stop flying. Flying is wasting fuel and ice and water, and they're the same thing. Well, they're different states of the same thing, so it's completely fine. Yeah, so I'm going to go and get all the components and weld all of this up, and we'll be back in a second. Okay, there we go. So we have everything created, which means that we now have a new respawn point, which is here. Lovely, lovely. It's scheduled for my faction. Currently we have 2-player factions, by the way. Just a quick... No, wrong one. No. Factions. Yes. So we have the Zero Jake Alliance, because I can't think of a better name. We've got me and Adam. And then we've got the Ghost Expedition Force, which is run by Ghost Rune. Also fine. Yeah. Expect to see more factions in the future. But basically, me and Adam can spawn here, but Ghost Rune can't. Ghost Dragon, yes. Ghost Dragon? No, Ghost Rune. Okay. Yeah, so Ghost Rune can spawn here. Can't spawn here. He can spawn at the base location over there, because I accidentally reset all of the ownership for everything when I was trying to enable permanent death instead. So, yeah. Noting that permanent death in Space Engineers is different from permanent death in anything else. Because in Space Engineers, what happens is you lose ownership of everything. And you are, if you die and you can't respawn at a med bay, so you have to respawn it in a ship, you basically lose access to everything that you own. Essentially, removing all ownership from you and making you force leave the guild, the faction, whatever. I make sense at some point. And that basically means that you lose your med bay, you lose access to anything that you had. Basically. I haven't enabled it yet because I'm not that mean right now. I will be that mean in the future, so people are going to be annoyed at me. Anyway, we have some modules to place down, noting that I'm harvesting them from the everything else, because that's how I roll. And then we just need speed modules. And then we should be good. Yep, place you there, and then place the other one over here. Good. Good, good, good. We can weld these up for profit and fun. Noting that I've just made a mistake. We need to get rid of you and you so that we can weld these guys up. And then weld you up. Then we can go backwards. You are at max, right? No. Now you are. And then we can just throw the rest of them on. So speed module, you go there. No, not there. That's the wrong way around. Speed module, you can go this way. Yes. And yield module can go there. And then we can start welding those up. Since the rover, quote-unquote rover, it doesn't rove around anymore, doesn't need any of these facilities anymore, I can get rid of them. I can get rid of the modules to, you know, make sure that we're not wasting resources. So I'm going to nick the speed modules. We're also going to clear out the entire of the interior and set it to do something else. I don't know what that's going to be. Maybe we'll make it. Maybe we'll turn the rover into a dropship. That has yet to be planned. Since I don't want to scrap it completely, because I want to see after 40 episodes of this how horrific the rover looks after I've been constantly engineering it to do something else every single episode. But yeah, the rover will be in here later, once I've welded the entire floor, that is. There we go, speed module. Yeah, and that should be running. So we now have a base. I just need to throw over the oxygen, and then we should have a good respawn point. Noting that everything is still inside the rover, I'm going to have to get rid of all of the stuff in here out of session. Well, out of recording, because that's just painful for the viewer mainly. It is fine for me because I do it on a daily basis. Right, let's throw over all of our ice. Let's go. We're going to keep a med bay in the rover and the oxygen generator, but we're not going to have the assembler or refinery, since I doubt that we're going to need to use it as a mobile base anytime soon. And the usage of wheels was kind of rubbish on my part, so we're going to use atmospheric engines instead. So I should be able to throw all of these, and they'll get refilled to maximum stuffs, and then I can pick up a hydrogen and an oxygen bottle, and we're good. I'm going to fly back over, get the rest of the ice, and then everyone will celebrate me as the hero of today, because there is no other day. I don't know where I'm going with this. In fact, I don't know where I'm going with anything these days, so that can just be quiet. Right, good. Now, since that didn't take as long as I thought it would be, we're going to do some planning on how this thing's going to look. So, if I fly over here, and I need to deposit this stuff just quickly. Oxygen, yeah, you can have that. And then cargo, you can have this. Good. So what we're going to need to do is we are going to plan out how this entrance section works. So here is the edge, right? Here is the furthest I will go. I don't know in which direction is furthest, but it's the furthest I'll go. Yeah. So what we could do, right? Since the way that this is going to work is what we're going to have. So we're going to have a slope here, right? We're going to have a slope here, and a slope here, and then we're going to have a regular block here. That's basically how this interior section is going to work. Noting that I want this kind of thing so that we don't just have the entire place being completely flat, because if it is completely flat, it just looks boring. I just realized I don't need this stuff. Possibly a bit premature construction on my part, but oh well. Let's hope I can get the block in here, because otherwise that's going to be difficult. Nope, I can get it. That's good. All good. Right. Now, since we're going to be running with that kind of setup, I have a plan. And that plan is we're going to have... Give me a second. I can't move. What we need is some airtight things. And I need to determine which height they can get to. So we have several airtight airlocks. And give me a second. We've got more somewhere. Hangar. Right, we have these hangar gates, which are quite useful. And what we can do... What does it mean by sealed? That's something I'm interested in. Anyway, we're going to grab the longest one, and we're going to see how far down that goes. Or how far up that goes, rather. If we do that, it will go along to the edge. So starting from here, its length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I could have worked that out, because it's that divided by 2.5. And that gives 8. If we get the... you know what? Let's dedicate something to this. So hangar. So we want this, this, this. Because I doubt we want an 8 high. Actually, no. Okay, let's calculate. Right? Let's do something sensible and calculate this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6, okay? And what we can do is we can go and get... I really need to sort out this inventory. But we can do this. And we can place it here. No, not there. We're going to get rid of this one. And then place it here. Right? So that means that the hangar gate will descend downwards, which is pretty useful. So we can place it along here. And then we can place all of them along here. Okay. I guess some of you are seeing where I'm going with this. Except for the fact that we're not going to do that. We're going to... Noting that I can't go... What? I can't go through them? Right. I'm going to leave that in there so that it will confuse Adam, because that's going to be hilarious. If I get rid of you. And then place you there. And then we're just going to have this go down. Right? And then across here... We have this go along so that people on the outside don't realise that this is a gate. Noting that this gate is defying the laws of volume. No, it isn't. It's just a very thin gate and all that. Whatever. Yeah, so we have this. If we weld that up, then it will basically say, hey, there's nothing here. Which is good. And then I just want to... Yeah. That should be good. And then, oh. So that's a death by running into thing that's not supposed to be there, right? Luckily I have a respawn point. So we're going to fly. Oh, no, we need to go over. No, we can go round. We can go round here. Ooh, look. I am definitely going to kill Adam using this as revenge. Yeah, let's pick everything up. First death using the new system. That's going to be interesting. Interesting indeed. Yeah. Now, as I was saying, on the other side, we're going to have it like this. So it's going to be following this kind of thing. It goes down. Right. Good. Yeah, I'm going to leave this here for now, just so I can get in and out, and Adam will get confused and kill himself accidentally, because that's the best way to do things. Space Engineers has now turned into attempt to kill your friend simulator. Which is what every game turns into when Adam's there, but never mind. What we also need to do now is just make sure that these go down to the ground so that I can do things properly. Light armor block. This goes down. Then I need you in there. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to go around like this, turn up inertia dampeners, and then we'll place this above this bit, if we can. No? You refusing to cooperate? Then your sentence is death. Like, I know it's near the ground, right? I know it's very, very close to the ground, but I'm still going to do it because I'm something like that. Yeah, if we do that. Yeah. No. No, no, no. Keep it like that. Keep it like that, and then that should be fine. I don't know what I'm doing right now, so... Well, actually, that should be... Did I just hurt myself? Oh, yeah, because I don't have inertia dampeners. That would explain things. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to weld up everything next to this wall. So let's get out of this. Right? And then we want to weld up this. Except we don't want to weld up the actual hanger gate because otherwise I'll run out of steel. Yeah, I ran out of steel. Oops. Yeah. So if we have the hanger gate there, we can weld all these along so that I can realise where that happens. The hanger gate will then be able to... will have buttons. You can press the button, hanger gate descends. Press the button again, hanger gate ascends. And we can get in and out pretty quickly. Now the thing is, once it's fully welded, I believe we should be able to go through it. If not, then that's a bug. A really serious bug. Which basically means that if we try to go in, then bad things happen. I'm also going to check out what the sealed ones are, because what I think those do is that oxygen won't escape, even if the doors are open. Which would be very, very useful for us. Because it means I don't have... Well, yeah. Because then it means I don't have to constantly manage the oxygen system inside the area. You know, like the doors on the Death Star, or any Star Wars vessel. Something like that. That's basically what I'm talking about. Though usually I don't know what I'm talking about, so keep it with a grain of salt. Yeah, so once I've done this, like welded up all the armor blocks, then what else do we need? So given that we have the given that we don't use the permanently sealed in terms of airtightness gates, we're going to need some oxygen vents around. After I've got this room completely sealed and what have you, what we're going to do is we're going to build some external structures. So these are solar panels and oxygen farms. The oxygen farms will give us a supply of oxygen. Noting that we're not on that much, it's very useful. Well, noting that we don't go through oxygen like no tomorrow, having about 12, maybe 16 of them should give us enough oxygen for the two of us. And then, of course, we use solar panels to offset the amount of energy that we'll be using. And then we'll have solar panels going to batteries, and that will be all useful. Now, what I want to set up is that the batteries only recharge from the solar panels rather than recharging from the reactor. That's what I want to do. Because if they recharge from the reactor, then we're just, you know, using up more reactor fuel. And that's not useful. In fact, what we can do, right, is have loads and loads of batteries, but one small reactor. And that reactor will keep going through. It slow burns, and then it fills up all the batteries. So the batteries we could use as a massive capacitor. And then we can use that capacitor to just give us energy when we need it. Noting that the batteries will slowly drain. If energy is being used, the batteries slowly drain. And the batteries have a much higher output than the reactor, I think. The batteries have an output of 6 megawatts, and the reactor has an output of less than that. So we could have batteries linked to the reactor system, and they will allow us to have a sudden surge of, well, it allows us to store up energy for later use, which is probably going to be used when, I don't know, a certain ghost rune comes and attacks us. We have shield generators, and those shield generators will need to recharge quickly, and then all the batteries go into action, the lights go beeping, and all that nonsense. All the nonsense. Because that is what we're here for. Yeah. So that should be pretty good. Right, let's continue doing this. And it's like nothing happened. Yeah, Adam is definitely going to kill himself on this. It's going to be hilarious. And then he's going to yell at me, and then hilarity ensues. Good. Right, I'm just going to heal up for a second. And then we should probably end the episode. Yeah, so I will be working on getting everything over from the rover to the base, and then also welding up the floor, because that's kind of the thing. I'll weld more of this stuff up. I might create a specialized vehicle for that. That might be on camera, depending on what happens on Friday, but whatever. Yeah, and then we need a ceiling, and then we'll start working on the external structures and going into the base. I'll probably delegate some work to Adam, because I can. You won't believe how useful it is to delegate tasks to other people. It is so useful, because I'm used to doing it all by myself, which is why I built nanite factories. But sadly, we can't build those right now, because we don't have access to platinum. The goal that we want to get to is have a ship capable of going out into space and then mining for platinum, because that's the thing that we need. Yeah. But that's all in the future. And until then, my name has been Zero Jake. End transmission.